Hello everybody, it's Chris Biffle, Coach B, and the date is April 21st, and we've got an incredible live webcast for you, solving the problem of punctuation. Oh yes. Anybody in the live audience out there just fed up to here was spending time correcting capital letters and periods. Is that how you want to spend your teaching career? Because you can do it. Well, you say I'm frozen, but I'm lively as can be here. Yeah, my friends, I'll tell you a story about the Irish hero Cuchulainn. Cuchulainn was bewitched, was put into a trance by an evil goddess, and he woke up one day and he saw the ocean waves coming in, and he thought the ocean waves were his enemy, and he took out his sword and he fought the ocean waves until his poor heart broke and he died. There's a message there about correcting punctuation errors. It's like the ocean, and the errors keep coming at you. Waves of periods and capital mistakes and missing apostrophes. And you can fight the ocean with your teacherly sword until your poor heart breaks, or you can get on board the Brainy train. That's right. Okay, let's get on board the Brainy train. Erica Roper's here tonight. That means we can have a good time. So here is our masterclass program 575. Yes, my friends. And anybody out there bought the Whole Brain Teaching for Challenging Kids book? Andre DeShotel, they say, is online. And he's one of our favorite rising stars. My friends, if you've bought the book, have you also contributed a review on Amazon telling everybody about the virtues of whole brain teaching? Who's going to go to Amazon right after this program and write a review about the book? Thank you, Terry BR. Well, we are one of the world's most popular education websites. 10 million pages downloaded, 4 million views on YouTube. That puts us up there with Beyonce, right where Beyonce belongs, up there near Whole Brain Teaching. Here's Biffy Bluebird. Hi, Coach. Hey, Biffy. What if someone wants a copy of these slides or needs a professional development certificate? Good question, Biffy. Coach, thank you very much. What does your friend Smarty Wonderbeak have to say? Easy breezy, Coach. Lemon squeezy. Details are at the end of this program. Smarty, thank you so much. I'm sure there are some people out there who would love to get a professional development certificate and a copy of the slides. Anybody out in my live audience using these webcasts for professional development credit? I'd love to know. Jackie Nisano says, me, 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 me. Folks, use it for professional development credit. Marie is. Howard Dell is. I mean, could it be cheaper and better? Moved you up on the pay scale, Trina? Trina, when does my check come in the mail? I want a cut of that action. All right, here we go. Welcome to a new way to teach your students. I love this. I can make corrections on the fly. Your students how to punctuate correctly. A collection of mind-activating blue brainies. Students punctuate incorrectly for one huge reason. I wonder, my friends, does anybody know the huge reason that students punctuate incorrectly? I'm taking a drink and seeing how hip my audience is. They're pretty hip. Let me see. Not enough practice, says Joanna Loftus. Lack of reps, says Nancy. They can't remember anything, says Blizzard. They don't know what a sentence is. They don't get enough punctuation reps. There is the answer. And Jackie Nisano really hit it. They don't speak correctly. Let's just stop for a second. Taking off the glasses. You know what time it is when I take off the glasses. I'm either excited or I'm upset or both. But you know what, my friends? How much damage is texting doing to the edifice of correct punctuation? I've got a suggestion for you about texting. I'll put on my glasses again. I'll try to calm down. Why don't you have A.D. Lutz and others a punctuation texting extra credit day where you ask kids to bring up their most recent text and you randomly read them. And if they're punctuated correctly, everybody gets an extra credit point or a star. Random reading of the texts. That probably ought to get some lawyers involved, but what do I care about who's suing you? Look at their texts, and if they're punctuating correctly, give them some credit. McCarlson, if your second graders aren't texting, they will be next year. You can bet on it. All right, pressing forward, my friends. Grand Kaslami, says Jackie. The only time students practice punctuation is when they write. And they often don't get their papers back for days, and usually they don't even notice the punctuation corrections. It's a miracle that kids punctuate at all. And I'm pretty excited about this because I taught college for 40 years. And I had kids who didn't put periods at the end of stinking sentences. And it's all the fault of one young teacher in Louisiana. I won't mention his name. Andre, though, is his first name. He has not been teaching his kids blue Brainies. And there's just this plague of incorrect punctuation is spreading from the South across the nation. Yeah, let's blame it on Andre. You know, think about it. If somebody's teaching me tennis and they note a mistake in my service, and 3 days later they tell me about the mistake I made, I don't even remember making the mistake. We have to fix the punctuation problem when the punctuation is happening, and it needs to happen more often than when they're writing. Is everybody on board with that? I hope so. Because that's where the train's going tonight. What's the shocking, truly shocking answer to the punctuation catastrophe of American education? I'm going to tell you the shocking answer. Don't teach punctuation when kids are actually writing. Anybody astounded by that, shocked by that? Isn't that a wild idea? Don't teach punctuation when kids are actually writing. You're not teaching punctuation often enough. They write like they talk, says Madeline. You know what? If we're having some audio issues, let me change on the fly my audio system. Let's just see if this does any better. Did anybody notice the audio improved or deteriorated right now? I'll need some feedback here. No change. Okay, Terry BR. As long as we got some audio. All right, here we go. But first, let's look at all the Brainies. Note the color coding. Purple Brainies, critical thinking. Green Brainies are grammar. Blue Brainies are punctuation. Yellow Brainies are specials. And hold on to your seats, my friends. Hold on to your seats. A brand new version of the Einstein triangle is being rolled out tonight. The key word is rolled, which is a little hint to a new feature of the Einstein triangle coming at you if you have time to wait till the end of the program. Anybody just strapped in and excited about a new version that's going to be rolled in of the Einstein triangle? Margie 84 thinks we're talking about Einstein wheel. Very interesting. Okay, Bruce, you're going to love it. Here we go. Now this is the old version of the Brainies. This is the one that Coach B put together, and it's not bad. But check this one out. Lots of subtle improvements. Look how much better that comic font is. And we changed the purple to red, and we got whole brain teaching on there. Isn't it gorgeous? Also notice the Einstein triangle connect is no longer just connect. It's connect 5W plus H. Give me a ha 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 ha. Oh, can you see what's going to happen with the Einstein triangle now? Yes, Blizzard. Just you wait, my friends. Hopefully you don't have to put the kids to bed or anything like that. It's coming at you. And check this out. Super speed Brainies. Anybody familiar with our super speed math? Yes, Loftus, super speed Brainies in the new graphic format that is just popping. Who is just sneezing with Brainy super speed? We haven't even talked about it yet. Nancy says she needs her G suit. It's like a WBT rainbow. Rainbow is also a key word here, Southern Teacher. So one of these days we'll talk about Brainy super speed, but I'm confident that my wonderful teachers out there, Mind Giants, Blizzard, Mind Giants are coming back. The return of the Mind Giants. All right, here we go. Now let's look at the blue punctuation Brainies. Each Brainy is nice and big, and you can blow it up and put it at the front of your room. Here's the capital letter blue Brainy. And let me show you this is our gesture for a capital letter because capital letter is a big letter. And at the end, and then I have a description of how to use the capital letter blue Brainy. Deliberately introduce proper nouns into your lesson. Yes, the apostrophe has a sound. Today, Wednesday, here at Yates Elementary School, we're going to study proper nouns, teach. So this is how you really get kids capitalizing. Teach them to capitalize as they're talking. Here's the next one. Period. Emphasize that you want to have a fun period. See, kids think they're putting one over on you when they get real crazy with their period. They're not putting one over on you. They're activating their limbic system where their emotions are. So work on one of these at a time or two at a time. Deb Weigel's online. We can now start having some real fun. Deb, I'd love to know if you were teaching your classified staff about the Brainies, as you promised last week. Here's the period. Now, people have asked me, and they're just besieging me, what is the gesture for exclamation? What's the gesture for semicolon? What's the gesture for colon? What's the gesture for question mark? We only need a period gesture. Here's the question mark. Draw it in the air. Here's the exclamation. Draw it in the air. Here's the semicolon. Zoop. Here's the colon. You see, all you need is the period slamming onto the brakes. Anybody digging how I'm taking the period and extending it to question mark, exclamation mark, colon, and semicolon? Are you digging it? I'm taking a drink to see if you're really loving it. They're loving it out there. Andre says it makes sense. Marty Holman likes it. They even dig it in Florida. Here's the comma. Zoop! Now, there's a big debate, and I'm taking off my glasses for this debate. There's a big debate about the comma in a series. I like apples, zoop, bananas, zoop, and avocados. Does the comma go before the and? At Harvard it does. It's called the Harvard comma. So we teach kids to go, I like apples, zoop, bananas, zoop, and avocados. If it's good enough for Harvard, maybe it's good enough for us. It is up to the writer, Marsh, and so this is what I sternly tell my college students. The comma goes before the and, or it doesn't, and I mean it. See, that's college talk. But let's get that comma there before the and. Elements of Style, the classic book on writing by E.B. White. It's good enough for him. It's good enough for us. I love E.B. White. Now, Nancy Stoltenberg has a wild... See, now this is my gesture for the kids this way, because that's the way they're pushing their words over for indent. And I want them to say new paragraph, but I think Nancy Stoltenberg has an even better rationale. Nancy teaches her kids to say drop and shove, which means she wants them to drop down a line and then shove the words over. Can we get a massive thank you to the ladylike Nancy Stoltenberg for coming up with drop and shove? I mean, I just never thought I'd hear her talk like that, but it just shows me she's not completely angelic. She has a little human part to her personality. Like the old typewriters, that's right. Take a typewriter into your class and ask kids if they recognize what it is. Okay. Quotation marks are easy. Let me get this here. Eat, eat. There's a great video by Lindsay Roush. Her kids are throwing in quotation marks like crazy. So here's my suggestion on teaching quotations. and this is tough. Let me just read it to you. Students hold 2 fingers on each hand in the air and they say, eat, eat. The sound effect many people use when making air quotation marks. For a great example of the use of quotation marks, see Lindsay Rausch's 3rd graders at that place. For practice during Teach OK, put this sentence frame on the board. I'm going to really bring this up close for you. My teacher just said, comma, quote, X, line, period, end quote. Tell kids that the red X must be a capital, the quoted part must be a sentence, and to remember to put the period inside the quotation marks. Your kids will need 50 to 100 reps of this pattern. So there is a way to include quoting in the Teach OK. That's brand new. Who's going to use it tomorrow? I'd like to know if you're really digging that. Andre, I'd love to see your kids using quotes. Deb, you're right. We've got to get it left to right. Lisa B says she needs a template now. Oklahoma City says Madeline will be digging it tomorrow. Marty says she's going to be using it. Sash 821. That's right, Loftus. They just try to quote you, even though they're not doing it perfectly. Apostrophe time, my friends. The apostrophe is zeep with the little finger. Why? Because a comma is zoop. Oh, wait. Sometimes I surprise myself, which is hard because I'm me. Check this out, just occurred to me. We say zoop and zeep because the apostrophe is higher, zeep, and the comma is lower, zoop. High, low, get it? Oh man, I'm shocking myself. Zeep and zoop. Here it is. Sweet, says Marty Holman. Shock and awe, says S. Rebel. Nancy, we're on the same wavelength, which is dangerous. We can't have too many people on that wavelength. Now, okay. Stay with me. Stop texting. Just listen to me. I'm going to tell you how to teach the difference between singular and plural possessive. Just tell me I've got your total attention, because singular and plural possessive took me 38 years to figure out. I got to take a drink just to calm myself down after surprising myself. Singular and plural possessive. Here we go. I'm going to focus in on the text so that you don't have to take notes. And I'm going to tighten it up so you see exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, teaching apostrophes or punctuation's nightmare. Kids never use them or use them incorrectly. First point to make, it apostrophe S always means it is, and thus never ever is possessive. The dog chews its bone is wrong, wrong, wrong. That is the most common wacky error in college writing. IT apostrophe S only means it is. Now, get this. To teach apostrophes, put these two phrases on the board. The boy apostrophe S boat and the boy S apostrophe boat. Teach kids that an apostrophe is either a splitter splitting the S from boy and leaving one boy behind, singular possessive, or a shover, shoving the S over to the boy and making many boys, plural possessive. A splitter or a shover. For proofreading, ask kids to find every word that ends in S and figure out if it needs a splitter or a shover or neither. Are you digging the splitter shover? Boy apostrophe S. The apostrophe E is a splitter. It splits the S away from boy and leaves one behind. Boy's S apostrophe, it's a shover. It shoves the S over there and shows you got more than one boy. 38 years I got involved in figuring that out, and I finally get it off my weary brain tonight. Splitters and shovers, singular and plural possessive. One reason that I'm angry at everybody is that you guys get to take advantage of 25 years of my wacky mistakes. And help me is very important in everything we do. Help me, I think, is going to take over the world. It may become as popular as Class Yes. Anybody using Help Me out there? Because if you're not, something was wrong with you. Here's the deal with Help Me. We use Help Me when we're teaching punctuation because you're talking along and you're saying, you're using your blue brainy gestures, and you come to the end and you think, oh, what goes at the end of a sentence? Help me. Or you come to a place where a comma is needed and you pretend like you forget, you say, help me. This is the only time in whole brain teaching where all the kids can spout forward. They love help me, and it keeps everybody sitting on the edge of their seat. What more do we want? Here are 14 ways to use the blue brainies. 1. Laminated desk sets. Ask kids to talk to each other about any classroom activity and mark the punctuation brainies they use. Who's laminating desk sets for the brainies? Brainy reading. This is huge. During independent reading, kids make a blue brainy gesture but not sound effect every time they find one in their reading. Begin by having students gesture for capital letter, then period, then comma, and so forth. Spend days asking kids to do nothing in their reading except make the apostrophe gesture silently. You see the importance of that? I don't think kids are learning enough in independent reading. I just think it's a time to take a snooze. Let's have them be sensitive to punctuation. Ask students to stop every few minutes and paraphrase what they're reading to their neighbor using whatever punctuation brainies you've selected. Punctuation detective, says S. Rebel. That's brilliant. That's so great, I'm going to steal it. Brainy reading. When you read aloud, ask your kids to make the capital letter gesture whenever they think a sentence begins or a proper noun is used. When this is mastered, pause in your reading when you encounter a comma. Brainy math. Let them explain math processes and use punctuation brainy. More brainy math. Let them use a lot of the brainies like also and for example and if then, which require commas. So get the blue punctuation brainies in with if then. If you like brainies, comma, then you'll love teaching them. Brainy sharing. Whenever you call on a student, the child quickly stands, says class as they rise, and then mirror words and uses brainy gestures. All right. Here's a whole brain teaching check, and I want you to be honest, just yes or no. Number 1, are you using sticks in a stinking cup to call on students? Yes or no? This is my pop quiz. Yes or no? Sticks in a stinking cup. Yes or no? I'm taking a drink, trying to calm down. Angel, stop using this Howard Dell. Please stop it. I'll tell you what's wrong with it. You're leaving who gets the next question up to chance. And you got to fiddle around with the sticks. And maybe you pull a kid's name twice. Know your kids and know who needs the next question in terms of difficulty, in terms of attention. No more sticks. Now, when you call on a kid, do you say, who knows the answer to this question, and ask for a show of hands? Yes or no? Who asked for a show of hands? I'm taking a drink again. I got to settle down. Yes or no? Show of hands. Do you use it? Angel, I'm glad you're online tonight because we're going to help you out. Erica, don't do it anymore. Show of hands doesn't work because you get the same kids raising their hands all the time, and other kids know that they can take a break. Just call on a kid. Let them know at any point in the lesson anybody can be called on. Don't say anyone. Just pick a kid and have them answer. And here's the next thing. When you select a child to respond, are you sure the child uses mirror words? Yes or no? Every child called on uses mirror words. Yes or no? Loftus says yes. Terry BR, come on. Blizzard. When you call on a child, they need to say class as they rise and mirror words so that everybody's paying attention and repeating what they say. We want continuous learning by the whole class, not continuous learning by the whole class and then one kid learns and then another kid learns and then back to the whole class. The train has every kid on it. Continuous learning by the whole class. All right, my friends, I'm glad I got that off my chest. I bet you are glad too. Brainy review. If you call out period, they make the gesture, you make the gesture, and they say period. This is very good. Post one or more punctuation brainies in the front of the room, and students use these as often as possible all day long. Joanna Loftus says, what happens if you call on a kid and he always says, help me? Well, Joanna, throw an easier question at him that either requires them to say, yes, I agree, or no, I disagree. Give him or her a card to read from. I let it slide and address it during recess. Sentence frames is the way to go. Guess my brainy. I just thought this one up. Of course, I'm just thinking all this up. Pause occasionally as you talk to your class. Ask them to guess and show you what punctuation brainy you're going to use next. That's number 11 of 14 pieces of advice. Brainy recess, this is so good it's scary. Tell your kids if you see them using specific brainies, start with capital and period. When they're talking to each other during recess, you'll start the class by giving everyone a point on the scoreboard. Has anyone tried brainy recess? Deb Weichel, what do you think about brainy recess at your school? Terry BR, you like the idea? Me too. Yes, Joanne, that's why we repeat it, because sometimes we forget, including Coach B. Brainy Campus, here's where I want to know what Deb Weigel has to say. Train office members and other non-teaching staff several brainies. Ask them to use these as they talk to kids or quiz students on the gestures. Can you show me your capital brainy? Whoever greets students in the morning should be using brainies and asking for brainy demonstrations. Deb, any progress here? Because you will be leading the nation soon. Anybody, you have non-teaching staff that are great teachers at your school. Get them involved. Deb, how about this idea? Did you get a chance to try it at your school? Great, Michelle. That's right, Deb. More reps. All right. And use the Teach OK for brainy. This is our big change. When kids are talking to each other, we want them always to be using one or more kinds of brainy. I'll modify that. Look at me. Here's what's new. If I say teach, the kids turn to each other and teach each other using a high five switch. If I say brainies, then the kids turn to each other and they use brainies as they talk. So you've selected some up here on the board and you've decided which ones that you want your kids to use. So it's either teach, and it's a regular Teach OK, or it's brainies, and now they're doing air punctuation and all the other tricks we do in whole brain teaching. To sum up, here are blue punctuation brainies, capital, comma, period, quotations, apostrophe, and indent. Green grammar brainies, purple critical thinking brainies, yellow special brainies, and Einstein brainies. But coming up, my friends, is the new Einstein triangle major announcement. Can I get a drum roll? There's a brand new Einstein triangle that's going to be rolling through your neighborhood. Andre, I hope you're still online. Your kids are going to crush the new Einstein triangle. Andre, send me a video yesterday of the new Einstein triangle, my friend. Here we go. Rolling with the homies. Presenting the six-wheeled rainbow rolling Einstein triangle. Who's so excited they can hardly type? Six-wheeled rainbow rolling Einstein triangle. What? Says Madeline. Oh, you want to see it? You don't just want to hear about it? Carlson says, me. Blizzard says, me. Six-wheeled rainbow rolling Einstein triangle. Here we go. Presenting. Check it out. Compare and contrast. Let's say we compare and contrast fractions. Who, what, where, when, why, and how gives us so much richer connections than just plain old connect. Whoopee! Do you see how much richer? See, here's the problem. The problem we were having when I saw videos of the connection, kids were using connect and compare as synonyms. Like fractions are connected to whole numbers because they both use numbers. That's a comparison. That's not a connection. Let's just see how the six-wheeled rainbow rolling triangle works. So 5W plus H. Can you connect with these questions? Who uses fractions? What are proper and improper fractions? Where are fractions used most often? When do we use fractions? Why do we need fractions? How do we multiply fractions? And on and on and on and on. Why is this fraction in the lowest terms? Give me some who, what, where, when, why, and how questions about fractions. Go, my dear teachers. Let them roll down the screen. How many questions can you think of? That's right, Andre. It'll give you so much richer analysis. Where is the denominator? Where have you seen fractions outside school? Good, where? Who invented fractions? What is the fraction for this picture? How do we convert a fraction to a decimal? What is 0.25 in fraction forms? Where do we need fractions in math? Why is this smaller number on top? How are fractions used at the grocery store? You see the richness of that? Here's how I demonstrate it. You might say, Coach B, take us inside your mind. It's a frightening place. It looks like my desktop, but I'm going to take you inside my mind. A moment of spooky silence. I say to myself, if this would work for fractions and the Amazon River, it'll work for anything in between. That's a little peek inside the mind, the scatterbrain of Coach B. I say fractions, and then I say Amazon River. Compare, contrast, connect 5W plus H. Check it out. Who explored the Amazon? What is the Amazon rainforest? Where is the mouth of the Amazon? When did deforestation on the Amazon begin? Why is the Amazon important to global environment? How are the resources on the Amazon being used? Go shallow and go deep with your questions. It does make connections so much better, and it really is the richest part of the Einstein triangle. Give me some 5W plus H questions about the Amazon rainforest for your connections. You're right, Michelle. This is designed for kids to create their own questions. And that is huge. You see the possibilities of this thing. Okay, Bruce, where is the Amazon located on the map? Let kids think up the questions. How would I survive in the Amazon, says Deb Weigel. Yes, Joanna, let them create the questions and then try to figure out how they would find the answers. And you know what, my friends? Get them to tell you what they would search under on Google. Do an imaginary computer search, or if you got computers, just search for an answer. Beautiful. I'm so glad you guys like the new Einstein triangle. That's right, Nancy. Here's a magnificent idea. When you're using our Brainies, and you see kids using their punctuation, Brainies, and you see a pattern, give them a star on the Super Improvers wall. And JJ Jive says, how do I remember all this stuff? Well, you make a self-grading sheet. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, put down what you're going to use and then give yourself a grade on how well you used it. You know what? If I could just stop the world, and get kids to answer one question over and over again, it'd be the why question. Why are fractions important? Why is the Amazon important? Why is increasing reading speed important? Why is knowing how to convert from fractions to decimals important? We never teach them why it's important to do this stuff. It's like we teach them to tap dance and they never get to dance. Okay. I feel like you're online. I feel like you're on board with that. So what's really cool coming up in a few weeks? Does anybody remember what's really cool coming up in a few weeks? Who was here last week? And they remember what's really cool coming up in a few weeks. More colors? Good try. The end of school. Andre Dash remembers, bless your soul, trading card Brainies. Look at that trading card Brainy. Coming up in a few weeks. We're going to make a trading card for every one of the Brainies, and we'll put them on a sheet and you just cut them out. Probably put three fronts, 3 backs on one sheet. So many different ways to use trading card Brainies. And we're going to have trading cards. We're going to go back to the Mind Giants and have another set of trading cards for Mind Giants. Coming. So my friends, buy the paperback and get the electronic edition for only $4.95. I'm asking you. I'm begging you. Go to Amazon.com and write a review of this book if you liked it. Who's going to do that little favor for the whole brain teaching movement? Terry BR says you're going to write one tonight. Joanna says, Michelle, thank you. K. Bruce. S. Treeds, thank you. Rayburn, you did it. There's the link, says Southern Teacher. Okay, my friends. Well, here's Mrs. Linenthal. You know she's been sick. Gosh, Blue Brainies sound great. But how could I get professional development credit for this broadcast and a copy of these slides? Ms. Linenthal, are you okay? I'm feeling great, Coach. Last week I had kind of a cold, but I feel so much better now. Ms. Linenthal, you don't sound better. Oh, you should have heard me last week. Coach, last week I was talking like this. Gosh, Blue Brainies sound great. Hear the difference, Coach? Yeah, Ms. Linenthal. I'm glad you're not as sick as you were last week. So go to PayPal. I'll take you there right now. Go to PayPal at Whole Brain Teaching. Right here. And if you want a copy of the slides, even if you're not listening tonight, April 21st, put in $5.75 and I'll zip you a copy of the slides. And a dandy, suitable for framing, professional development certificate. You watched the 1-hour web seminar, Blue Punctuation Brainies, with a front and a back. And next week, golden adjectives. Who's excited by having a whole hour on golden adjectives and their brainy equivalent? Could you dig? Do you think it's necessary to have a whole program on adjectives? Yeah, I do. Adjectives are the gold in the dull earth of writing. Spicy words, says Michelle Shelton. Yes, that's what we call them, spicy adjectives. Please tell your colleagues about the adjective program next week. All right, my friends. Any questions about whole brain teaching? I got a few minutes here. Taking a drink. Any questions? Shoot them at me. If I don't know, some of the names in red will know. Okay, Bruce, you're awesome too. It's $5.75. That's the whole price for the slides tonight. And I'll tell you what, I will stay online. As soon as I get offline, for the next 20 minutes, I'll sit here and I'll fling the slides at you. You donate $5.75, I'll fling them at you. You'll get them tonight. Jackie, I need a big shirt. The problem I've always had is with my shoulders. I have to turn sideways to get through a door. I just can't go through a door like this, so a big one. Howard Dell, you got yours within minutes. Weren't you amazed? My friends, thanks so much for sharing your enthusiasm about teaching with me and with your colleagues. We're just charging forward. We've done 75 hours of free webcasts, and we'll only be happy when we've done 750. Over 1,000 people registered for the Louisiana conference. Gracias a ti, mi amiga. All right, my friends, please keep Kay Bruce, direct that question to Nancy. She will tell you. I'm bringing it to Florida. Definitely use the slides to make the desk copies because the new slides are high res. You could blow them up into posters, or so I'm told by my technical expert. My friends, let's finish as we always do. Names, grades, and locations. Let it flow down the screen. Who are we? Where are we? Let's see it. I'd love to get an invitation to go anywhere, but I just don't get any invitations. Oklahoma, Louisiana, New Jersey, Kansas, San Diego, Toms River, New Jersey, Palmdale, California, Orlando, Florida, Panama City, Louisiana, Apple Valley, Georgia, Menifee, California, West Virginia. My friends, if you want me to come to your campus, get your principal to send me an email. How would you do that? We got this thing up here. Contact us. Let's do professional development that really develops some professionals. I'd be happy to come and do professional development at your campus, but no one's inviting me. Actually, a lot of people are inviting me, but I'll pretend like I'm lonely. So right up here, you can send me an email there, contact us. And my friends, I do thank you for your prayers. We do feel the effect of prayer. And it's Coach B signing off, saying, power to the teachers and power to the kids. Oh yeah. God bless us all. Good night, my friends.